How's it going, everyone? It's Bill Markey coming back at you once again. And today we're going to be discussing Batwoman Elegy by Greg Rucka with art by J.H. Williams III, which ran from Detective Comics 854 all the way through 860. Let's get into it. Story starts off with Batwoman. She's hunting down the 13 covens of Gotham. She runs across Batman, Dick Grayson at this point, and Dick, he approves of her hunting down this case and he lets her have it. He says, "This one's yours. Have at it." Then we see her tracking down some leads all over Gotham. And at the conclusion of doing so, she comes face to face with the new leader of this religion of crime named Alice. Now, of course, this is superhero comics, so Batwoman and Alice, they have a big throwdown. And then the end result is that Alice ends up poisoning Batwoman. Now, her father, who acts as her Alfred, shall we say, is monitoring her her heart situation. He sees that Batwoman has been poisoned, so he rushes to the scene, and comic book magic, he gets there in the nick of time to help save her because she starts hallucinating, her visions of her mother and all this stuff. And once the father gets there, they find themselves surrounded by Alice and her goons. Now, I know what you're thinking. How are they going to get out of this one? Well, if you guessed a bunch of mutation people come out of the forest and fight off Alice and the rest of the religion of crime, then you guessed right. Totally random and out of left field. I did not see that one coming. While recovering from the poisoning at the hands of Alice, Kate, Batwoman, decides she's going to go to the policeman's gala, where she meets up with Maggie Sawyer, who is a policeman just transferred in from Gotham City. She's like the head of special crime unit or whatever. And the two of them, they share a dance there at the gala just for one of the weremen, the mutation people, to cut into the dance there and inform Kate that he informs Kate that they are fighting the same enemy, the religion of crime, and he doesn't like Alice, and the false prophecies, all this BS, right? But basically, they're on the same team. And, he informs her that Alice is about to do her grand attack, which is going to end up being a chemical weapon unleashed on Gotham City. And wouldn't you know it, she captures Batwoman's dad, who's a military guy, who gets them onto the base so they can steal the plane to deliver the chemical weapons. But Batwoman and this werewolf guy, they take another plane and they fly up into the sky, and they thwart the plan of Alice, and Alice falls, down into the river, like always. And that's that. Now it's here where we get 3 issues of backstory about who Kate Kane is, her military family, the death of her mother and her sister, how she was discharged from the military for being gay, and she stood up for her principles or whatever. She wasn't gonna lie because her commanding officer was giving her a get out of jail free card. All she had to do was deny her queerness, but she of course didn't, and she was discharged. And of course, her military father is just totally accepting of it. It's not like he wanted a military career for his daughter or anything. Just be true to yourself. This is what people talk about, the story about the social issues and stuff like that. I remember back in the day, this book was one of the most talked about, and it's this story right here. It's not the Alice stuff. It's this story with the don't ask, don't tell, because that was big back in the day as well. Whatever, didn't really care for it. Didn't bother me, but it's not I'm not gonna be oh my god, so stunning, so brave. It's a moot point for me, right? And we see that, after she washed out of the military, she's just going around Gotham, being a little socialite, spending her parents' money, and one day she's leaving a bar and she there's an attempted mugging, and Batman happens to stop it, and she gets inspired by Batman right then and there in the alley, and that's when she decides that she's going to serve Gotham instead of being able to serve the military. She's going to serve Gotham, and she's going to take on the mantle of Batwoman. Yeah, so It turns out the villain, Alice, is actually Kate's presumed dead twin sister. Don't you just hate it when that happens? I know I do. So of course, once Kate finds that out through like DNA testing, she gets mad at her father. She's like, "How could you not tell me that my sister lived?" And the father was like, "I didn't know, whatever." Forced family drama. Didn't really care about it. Uh, but that pretty much ends the story of Elegy here and family falling out. What can I say about J.H. Williams III's art that hasn't already been said before? I talked about it in my Batman and Son video when he did the story arc, The Mysterious Island of Mr. Mayhew, or whatever it was called. Here he is. He's really shining on this Batwoman book. Again, if it wasn't like the political or whatever issues that got people talking about this book back in the day, it was J.H. Williams III's art worth the price of admission alone. Uh, I will say there's a lot of splash pages here in this volume, and as someone who's rereading this on like a tablet, kind of annoying. But if you treat yourself to like the ultra enhanced edition with the blown up art and stuff, I can really see that being a visual treat for you. But for me, reading it on the tablet, didn't appreciate all those splash pages as much as I would have hoped. Yeah, like I said, this is the whole book's about the social issues. Kate Kane, Batwoman, being openly gay, right? It was a big deal back in the day. I don't think it's as big a deal now, in the world we live in, 2024. But a lot of this book is, taken up with that and the whole identity. And, you can get lost in the weeds with that. Some people, they don't like it, they don't care for it. For me, it's just whatever at this point. I'm not going to praise it overly because, oh my God, but I'm not going to detract from it either because it's there. It's just, it is what it is. I just wish that, Kate Kane herself would have had more characterization. I didn't really make a connection with the character throughout this volume. She was just there and she was just doing things. And, that's kind of an issue for me, right? I didn't, on this reread, I didn't enjoy the story as much as I hoped that I would. I remember back in the day, like I said, I read it when it was coming out, issue to issue. And it was a talk of the town, at least in comic books. But, yeah, this time there was just something missing. I don't know what it was. The first 4 issues when she's dealing with Alice, I thought that was not really good. And then you got like a follow up, like 3 or so issues of like backstory. That was like sort of like the heart and soul of the book. And you find out that the villain is actually her sister. They were separated when they were kidnapped and presumed dead, but now she's alive. And then, Batwoman drops her off the plane, so she thinks, "Oh no, I killed my sister," but she'll probably be back. I don't know. It just didn't hook me as much this time around. So for Batwoman Elegy, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give it a 3. A little bit disappointing, but still worth reading. It's one of those books that people just can't help but recommend, and it's mostly for like the social issues and J.H. Williams III's art. But it's not gonna blow you away. It's just kind of there. The next Batwoman storyline we're going to talk about here in this video that was not included in the Elegy collection that I read is called Cutter. It's 3 issues by Greg Rucka, art by Jock, and it spans issues of Detective Comics 861 through 863, and it's called Cutter. It's kind of a unique story. Batman and Batwoman, they're both hunting down, missing women. And it turns out that the missing women are being mutilated by this killer, calling himself the Cutter, who has like knives grafted into his skin, and he uses knives as his specialty, his weapon of choice. And once again, here we have Batwoman and Maggie Sawyer. They meet up at a crime scene where one of the mutilated girls has just been rescued by Batwoman, and we start to see here the formation of the Batman Gordon dynamic between Batwoman and Maggie Sawyer here, and whatever. Turns out Cutter is going to start targeting one of Batwoman's cousins named Bet, or Betty, I don't know how you pronounce the name. But of course, Batwoman's there to thwart the attack. And in doing so, another innocent woman gets stabbed, but, Bet gets kidnapped anyway. So needless to say, Batwoman makes a save on Bet, and then Bet reveals a secret that to me came out of nowhere, that she wants to, she somehow finds out that, Batwoman's Kate Kane, whatever, and, Bet she wants to join up. She wants in on the action, because apparently she's a former Teen Titan named Flamebird? What? That one caught me off guard. But, anyway, all's well that ends well. The only thing that's, memorable, I should say, about this storyline is the fact that, it's Batman and Batwoman. They're chasing down the same killer. But in the third issue, it's revealed that it's 10 years apart. Batman originally caught this guy. He went to Arkham Asylum, prison, whatever. He got out, and now he's the cutter. And the reason he's attacking all these young girls and mutilating their bodies is because back in the day, he had a girlfriend that he was real sweet with, but now she's older. So now he's going around, cutting out women's eyes and their ears and their noses to try to reconstruct a beautiful face for his girlfriend. And the fact that, Batman took him down 10 years ago, and now here's Batwoman. She's back on the case because the guy's back on the loose again. It's really, I thought it was really clever at the end. It's really the only saving grace for this three-part storyline. I thought the rest kind of sucked. But just going through the motions, reading it, if it wasn't for that twist at the end, I wouldn't remember this, and neither would you. It's no wonder it's not collected, unless it is, and I just missed it. I had to read it issue to issue. But yeah, for Cutter, that's going to be a 2 out of 5 for me. Totally forgettable except for that twist. And don't really care for Bet, and I don't know if she's going to end up being the Robin to Batwoman, but I guess we'll keep reading to find out. There's only one issue left to cover here, and that would be Batwoman issue 0. Because there was like a 0 month, like a 1 year before the New 52 launch. So I'm covering all the Batwoman stuff that I can before New 52, and issue 0 is up next. Batwoman here, issue 0, written by J.H. Williams III. W. Hayden Blackman, with art by Amy Reeder. Additional art by Amy Reeder, I should say. Let's get into it. Basically, it's one issue. Bruce Wayne is back from the dead at this point. He's evaluating the new Batwoman from afar, while she takes on, once again, the cult of the religion of crime. Bruce also disguises himself multiple times throughout the day, so he can test Kate to see her reflexes, her skills, and all that stuff, so that Bruce can be certain that Batwoman actually is Kathy Kane, or Kate Kane, whatever her name is. Needless to say, she is, and Batman approves, right? End of story. The only thing memorable about this issue is the fact that it's split. You got one storyline. Again, it's like a lot of splash pages as well. So you got one storyline going on along the top of the page, and another storyline going along the bottom of the page. And it's like I said, Bruce, he's back. He's got the binoculars. He's watching Batwoman, how she fights, how she conducts herself. He ends up approving of her. I guess she joins the Bat family later on because I think this was supposed to be like the start of the new Batwoman series, but it was delayed until New 52. So unless it continues right from here in the New 52, I don't know yet. I haven't read it, but it's like a primer for that. So Batman ends the issue like, oh, I better go talk to her pretty soon. And I never read the conversation that he had with her. So I'm just going to have to assume that it continues there, because that's the same creative team, Hayden Blackman and J.H. Williams III. So, yeah, but this one issue, 3 out of 5. I like the split storyline dynamic, but it was just fluff and a 0 issue, if there ever was one, right? Because it was supposed to lead into the series that ultimately got delayed until the New 52. So, what can I really say? Until next time, see you there.